Hey everyone, it's Nathan from Kiavi. Hey, I'm doing my quick pitch here to you as you're building out your approach in real estate. I'm gonna present the two different approaches and where I see the most power, and it's very unobjective. I'm going to be very I'm gonna have my opinion about this. But so I have over here illustrated the same house, and I have it if we were just gonna purchase it today, and it didn't need any renovation, and we're just gonna put it into long term financing and park that money in there, and that's we don't have capacity for construction. So if you look at this, the way this is set up, it's 25% that you're going to need to bring to the table, plus closing costs, um, and it's going to be based on its current condition. Grandma just moved out. The kids had maintained the home, but you know, needed a kitchen. Technically, doesn't need a kitchen, but needs a kitchen. And so, we've got a house, and you and I know if you've been around a house at all, there's always work to be done on a house. Like there's always something you can do. But if you want to take this approach, you just hit the punch list things, the outlet that doesn't work, or changing the locks, which we know, when you take over a property, there are just variables that you're going to have to address. And then you place a tenant in your cash flowing, from that day, and you've got a moderate loan size. You're just you're just going to go through and you're going to make your couple $100 every month, and you'll have a new unit, and that's awesome. But you will have camped 25 plus closing costs in that property for at least 3 years in the most cases, because that's the prepayment, and we don't want to touch it for really 4 years. So for the next couple of years, you're really going to need to just leave this alone, and it's going to need to cash flow for you. That's okay. If somebody just needs to park money in something, absolutely, it makes sense. I get it. But if you're really trying to grow something in real estate, you got to take this second approach. And it's been labeled the BRRR method, but like simply put, we're taking a house that needs work, and we're going to add equity, and then we're going to go into long-term financing. So with the bridge loan here at Kiavi, we can, in most cases, I really try to get my borrowers to only have to bring 10% plus closing costs. So, and that's not based on its current value per se. We're looking at its future value, and we're trying to strategize on what we see this property becoming. And ultimately, we're trying to fund 100% of the renovation budget through a draw process. So we're helping you achieve that. That's money secured by a home, not by your credit cards, not by, leveraging other things. Super powerful right there. And then once the renovation is completed, you place that tenant, and then we can refinance into our DSCR product. But now we're not talking about a house that's worth 300,000. We're talking about a house that's worth 450,000. And so immediately we can say, hey, do we have money that we want to leave in here, or do we want to pull money out? Do we think that we could rinse and repeat, and do we want to buy some more? That's the power of the BRRRR is that we have access to pull money out, or we can sit in the driver's seat and say, hey, I really want this property to cash flow a lot, so I'm going to decrease my loan size, and the monthly payment will be this. I've got the taxes and insurance escrowed. Everything will be self-sustaining, and I will have bought another house, and I will have it at a lower leverage, so that then my financing is cheaper. And so it's so powerful, and I'd love to chat with you about your specific approach, and help in any way. But this to me is the best way to grow something in real estate. And I have some great tips for you, I believe, great tips for you on maybe how to approach the construction side if that's the part that kind of feels daunting to you. Having been doing this for 13 years, I have, obviously collected some significant life experience, and I'm excited to share it with you. So If this piques your interest at all, if I hope it's kind of illustrated the power of the fixing something prior to going into long-term financing. And I hope it excites you about real estate too. I say real estate changed the trajectory of my life, and I want that for you as well. All right. Hey, it's Nathan from Kiavi. Please give me a call, 415 604 3495. Would love to chat. All right. Be safe.